Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of our program Languages of the World. Here we are once again for another episode of English, and actually this is our first episode in the new year. So happy new year to everybody. I hope it will be a prosperous year for everybody, full of success and accomplishments. Let me first welcome my guest, Ms. Hiba. Hello Ms. Hiba, and welcome to the program.
Hi, Yasser.
How's everything?
New Year.
Happy
Fine,
New
thank
Year
you.
to you too. I guess we should all start this year, by being optimistic, full of hope.
Yeah, we have to. And hopefully our optimism will be true.
Yeah, okay. It will pay fruit, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, so what are we going to do today?
Well, actually, today we have a short presentation about the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
about the areas it controls, and also about things about the United Kingdom, the Great Britain in particular.
Yeah, of course, and this is something really interesting to learn about other cultures through learning a language.
Exactly, and because the United Kingdom is one of the biggest countries, so we have to know about it.
It is the mother of the English language.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, well, today we have some interesting facts about the United Kingdom.
Yeah, let's get started.
Oh, yeah, please. Well, the UK, or the United Kingdom, is a sovereign state. And by sovereign, we mean that it has a king and a queen. And actually, it has a queen right now, not a king. The entire name of the UK is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So it's not only about Britain, but also Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland is part of Great Britain.
Sure. It was all of Ireland in the old days, but now it's just the Northern. The nations belonging to the UK are England, Northern England, Scotland, and Wales. So these are the countries or nations belonging to the UK. The name of the British anthem is God Save the Queen. So the British anthem is God Save the Queen. And as I told you, they don't have a king, they have a queen there.
Yeah.
And of course, its currency is the pound.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, now the euro, I know. The Union Jack. Here we have the flag, and I found this interesting because the story about these, a lot of things in the flag are related to, as we can see, England here, the Red Cross, then Scotland, the blue and the like X, the white X, big X. Then we have Ireland is a red X. So if you combine all of this, you will have what is called the Union Jack, or this is the flag of the UK after collecting all of these countries. These are some of the pictures. The British Isles are a group of islands. So they are a group of islands actually on the northwest coast of the continent of Europe. So they are on the west coast of Europe. The largest islands are Great Britain and Ireland. So Great Britain is an island actually. Also Ireland. England, Wales and Scotland are in the Great Britain. Northern Ireland is in the northeastern part of Ireland. The larger part of Ireland is the Irish Republic. So we have the larger part of Ireland, the Irish Republic. The British Isles have many rivers, but they are not very long. So they have rivers also, but not that long, not like the Nile, for example. They have the Severn, the Thames. Also, there are many beautiful lakes in Scotland and northwest England. The European lakes, by the way, Yasser, are very beautiful.
Yeah.
And they are surrounded by green areas. And you can see also the ducks swimming in these lakes in the summer. It's a wonderful sight actually. And as a rule, there is no ice on the lakes and rivers in winter. So there is no ice on the lakes and rivers in winter, which is very nice to enjoy in winter also. There are no high mountains on these islands because normally the island doesn't have a lot of mountains unless it is a volcano. The highest mountain in Scotland, Ben Nevis, is about 1,343 meters high, and the highest mountain in Wales is Snowdon. So they have two mountains. The climate of the British Isles is not very cold in winter and never very hot in summer. So I suppose this is a very interesting weather, that it is not very cold in winter as the rest of Europe and never very hot in summer. All parts of the British Isles get a lot of rain in all seasons. And this, of course, explains the greenery areas there, especially in the countryside of Britain. You know, the countryside there is amazing, better than the cities.
Yeah.
There are 4 nationalities which have their own language and culture. So in Great Britain we have 4 nationalities with their own language and culture. We have the English, the Irish, the Welsh, and the Scottish. The population of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is almost 56 million people. Less than the Egyptian people, actually.
Yeah.
So it is not many. London, the capital, is one of the many important industrial centers. Of course, the first industrial revolution happened in London, so of course it is one of the many important industrial centers. Clothes, food, planes, cars are made in and around London. It's 2,000 years old, so it's very old actually. London, 2,000 years old. Many years ago, London was a small town on the Thames. Now London is a beautiful city. If you consider in the English literature London in the past days, you will know that it was foggy because, of course, of the factories, and it was not that beautiful. But now it is a beautiful city.
Yeah, and it is the capital city of England as well as Great Britain.
That's right, the capital. The oldest part of the capital is the city of London. It makes about 1 square mile. Many monuments of London's history are in the city. It has many theatres and concert halls, galleries and museums. Of course, all of the culture are focused and concentrated in London City. In London, there are many historical places which are the most interesting and popular among the Londoners. Londoners are the people who live in London, and foreign tourists from different countries. So if you want to visit England, you have to visit London, because all of the galleries and museums and all the culture actually is focused there.
It is the most popular tourist attraction.
Of course, there. Before railways were built in Britain, canals had been made to join one river to another, and canal boats carried goods between the industrial centers and the seaports. So we had canals before the railways.
All right. Right now, let's watch a clip about the landmarks of London. Let's watch this and we'll be back. So, as we've just seen, beautiful scenery indeed.
Yeah, these are landscapes. They are nice, very nice. And I told you, the rains, a lot of rains that fall on England makes a lot of greenery, actually.
Actually, the weather in Britain in general is not that good throughout the whole year. And this is why people talk a lot about the weather. It's a very important topic over there.
Yes, of course. It's not sunny all the time, but now, I think nowadays it's sunnier than before because of the ozone layer and all of this. I think it is sunnier. Actually, we have a lot of tourist attractions in England. We can have a look at them. We have something called the Stonehenge. Actually, I myself, it's the first time for me to hear about it. The Stonehenge is the most mysterious structure in the world. It's situated in the south of England. The largest of its stones weigh about 50 tons. That's about 5,000 kilos. And the smallest 5 tons. 50,000 kilos, actually. It had been building during 600 years. They built it through 600 years. The sun and the stones at Stonehenge let people know when the months and seasons start. So it is one of the mysterious structures, actually. Also, we have the Tower of London, the most famous of all the historical buildings in London. It stands today almost unchanged since it was built in the 11th century. So since it was built, it is the same, actually. It was a fortress, it's a citadel, a royal palace, became then a royal palace, and later a prison. Then they changed it into a prison. But today it's a museum. So this is the history of this Tower of London. Fortress, then palace, then prison, then now it's a museum. There are a lot of interesting collections in the Tower of London. So yes, if you visit London, don't forget to visit the Tower of London.
I won't.
The black ravens that live in the gardens of the tower now are another famous sight. So what is famous about this Tower of London? It has a lot of black ravens, okay? The legend says that without them, the tower will fall. So they have a legend that without the ravens, the tower will fall. The raven master is the person who gives them food, and they have a master, there's a person who gives them food to keep them around in the tower. Many people from other countries come to see the tower. They see the dark stone halls with small windows and thick doors. The walls of the tower are 5 meters thick. So imagine 5 meters thick. The wall is 5 meters thick. In the museum, they can see many old guns. Okay, it was a prison and now museum. So it's interesting. We also have St. Paul's Cathedral. It's very large. It's the second famous church. St. Paul's Cathedral is the greatest work of England's greatest architect, Christopher Wren. The cathedral was begun in 1675, so it is very big and the most famous, second famous one. And it was opened in 1697, but was finished only in 1710, when Wren was almost 80 years old. There are memorials to many famous men of England in the cathedral. So also, here again it is culture. You know, I like countries that have culture. And this is history and culture.
Britain has a great civilization.
Yes, and if you ask me which would you prefer, England or America, for example, I would tell you England, because it has a long history.
You're talking about as a place to live in?
A place to visit, not to live in, but to visit. Also, we have the Trafalgar Square.
We're talking about traveling, you know. You wish to go to every spot on Earth.
Yeah, but England would be preferable than
your first priority.
Yeah, not the USA, actually. Countries with culture. We have the Trafalgar Square also is in the center of the West End of London. So I think London is collecting all the culture in it. In the center there is Nelson's column with the figure of the great seaman who defeated the French at the Battle of Trafalgar. So it is named after a battle. This square is a place where mass meetings and demonstrations take place. It's like here our Tahrir, Mugamma Tahrir here in Egypt. All the meetings and demonstrations take place there. And of course, don't forget the Piccadilly Circus. Very, very famous, this Piccadilly Circus Square in the central part of London, is the meeting point of 6 streets. London's best-known theatres and cinemas, they're in Piccadilly Circus Street. And most famous restaurants are on Piccadilly Circus. In the square you can see people of many nationalities and hear a lot of different languages. So when you are there, you have to visit Piccadilly Circus Square. Then we have the Houses of the Parliament, and we know that although it is a kingdom, but the Parliament actually is the body that governs the country. The Houses of Parliament in London, known also as the Palace of Westminster, is the place where members of Parliament gather to make laws. Actually, the Queen has to follow these laws of the Parliament. The Houses of Parliament is a very large building which stands near the Thames, the rivers of Thames. Then, of course, we will never forget the Big Ben. Of course, the Big Ben. There are 2 tall towers at the corners of the building, and one of them is the Clock Tower. So there are 2. One of them is the Clock Tower, built in 1858 by the English people. The bell weighs about 13 tons, and the man in charge of the building was Sir Benjamin Hall. He was very tall, so the workers called him Big Ben, and it strikes every hour. So why it's called Big Ben? Because the one who was in charge of the clock was called Benjamin, and he was very tall, so that's why it is called Big Ben, according to the man who was in charge, the tall Benjamin.
All right. You know, I guess everybody loves to follow the news about the royal family.
Yes, me too. I love it. Yes. Yes, royalty is
mysterious. You know, people always love to read about them, to know about them, to know about their life, their lifestyle, and everything. So their social life also makes big news over there.
But you know, they are normal people. From what I've read about them, they are normal people, away from their responsibilities, actually.
Well, perhaps they see their life as normal, but others look up to them, usually.
Exactly. Yes.
So let's talk about some of the interesting stuff about the royal family. We'll watch something and we'll be back to comment on it. As you've just seen, this is Prince George on his first day to school.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, as I told you, they have normal life. Now the father is taking his son to the school in the first day,
Yeah.
and the teacher is just
Yeah, but for the
welcoming them.
media, this is
Yeah.
a story.
Yeah, but he's just a cute child going to school for the first day with his dad. I told you, they live normally, but we see them.
He's heir
like,
to the
yes,
throne.
Yes, he's the heir, but he doesn't know, he's just a kid.
Yeah.
But they are nice, and he's cute, by the way. He's nice.
Yeah.
As you said, we have some of the things of the British people actually have here some of their culture, not their famous places. We have here something about their food and their, entertainment. And they are people, all of the people say that British people are so strict, but actually no, they have a lot of fun in their lives.
Yeah.
If we talk about their food, for example, their main course is breakfast, not the lunch as we have here. No, their breakfast is the main course. And British food is unhealthy because all their food is fried actually. So if you consider their food healthy, no, it's not. It's unhealthy. All of their food is fried. They love fish and chips, for example, and they like Yorkshire pudding. It's a kind of pudding specialized for them, and the roast beef. For the cinema in Britain, actually, it's usually rainy and windy. And sorry, this is the climate. And the average temperature is between -11 degrees centigrade and 35 degrees centigrade. I think 35 this in summer and -11 in winter, which is fine, by the way. Some countries reach -0, something like that. If you want to drive in the UK, they drive on the left, of course, because in the antiquity, in the old days, when they were fighting, riding a horse in the right hand, they took the sword, and with the left hand, they took the reins. So it's kind of as if they are riding a horse. So they drive on the left, as if they are holding the reins of the horse. This is
طبعا
the story
بيقودوا
of it.
سياراتهم من على
Yes, on the
اليسار.
left. Yes, because in the old days they used to hold the reins of the horse by their left
Yeah.
and the sword in their right.
كانوا بيمسكوا لجام الحصان في السابق بالايد اليسار، فبالتالي هم دلوقتي اتعودوا على القياده باليد
Exactly, this is the
اليسرى.
story of driving on the left. Also, the sports. We have some of the sports in the UK.
Do you think you could ever get used to driving on the left one day?
Neither the left or right. I don't like driving at all.
Really? I thought you have a car and drive.
I had a car and I used to drive, but I don't like driving in Egypt.
But I don't think it's easy for anybody to to shift from driving on the right
no,
to
it is
driving
not
on the
easy.
left.
I don't think it is easy. I don't think. But if I ever drive, I will not drive in Egypt.
Yeah.
So because it's so crowded actually, and a lot of cars. So back to sports, they love cricket and they love tennis. You know, all of these are royal sports. They love the rugby and they love, of course, football. So they are all kind of sports that use the ball.
Yeah, but they are very fanatic when it comes to soccer, or as they call it in Britain, to football.
Yes, exactly. For the cinema, of course, Charlie Chaplin is one of the most famous, and Sean Connery, and we have, of course, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. These are very famous. But literature is far more famous than, of course, the cinema. If we are talking about English literature, we have John
Milton. It is the greatest literature of all.
Of course, of Europe. The greatest literature of Europe. We have, of course, William Shakespeare. We have John Milton, we have Thomas More, and the list goes on. We can't say
we talk
all
about the great masterpieces of literature.
Are all English, actually.
Yeah, and they are read to this day and very much enjoyed by people all over the world.
Yeah, and they are translated to all the languages, actually. They are amazing, and of course we have Mary Shelley, Christopher Marlowe, a lot of them. Geoffrey Chaucer, Samuel Richardson, Jane Austen,
Mark Twain.
Oh yeah, all of the classics and all of the amazing things belong to English. Novelists, dramatists, playwrights, all of this.
Yeah.
England is great, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm very interested in English literature, actually.
Yeah, me too.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. And actually, it gives a lot of ideas to our recent and present literature in Egypt.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Yeah.
So, are you planning to visit Britain one day?
Yeah, sure, of
Really?
course. Europe is great. Is a great continent, actually.
I mean, you've been to Germany before, I guess. But you...
Yeah, I've been to Germany and Czech and also, you know, Prague. Vienna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Austria.
Austria. So actually, Europe is all the same, and you can move in Europe with the train. Okay, you don't need a plane to move inside Europe. So if you are in a place, you can take the train to another
Yeah,
place.
talking about the currency of the UK, I guess you'll go back to using the sterling, the English
Yeah, the
pound.
sterling pound.
Now
yeah,
that
yeah.
they have, or they are planning to exit or to get out of the EU.
The euro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, both of them are expensive, if you ask me.
طبعا هم في عندهم حاجة اسمها البريكزيت دي يعني بتعني خروج المملكة المتحدة أو بريطانيا من الاتحاد الأوروبي، وبالتالي إذا هم كانوا بيتعاملوا باليورو في السابق، فأعتقد هم هيرجعوا لتاني للجنيه الاسترليني بقى.
Yes, exactly, yeah. But still, it's a great culture.
Yeah. All right, I guess we've come to the end of this episode, so I'd like to thank you very much, Ms. Heba, for this lovely
tour.
Tour.
Yeah,
thank you so much. So we've taken you on a tour to the United Kingdom and specifically to England, to London. It's really great to learn about other people's cultures, especially the UK has great culture and great civilization. And it is the mother, you know, place of English, so it's worthy of, you know, stopping by and learning about it and studying more about this great culture. Thank you for watching. We'll be meeting you again next week. So until then, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.